Hello, this is Dr. Dave Maslach talking about reciprocity.com, the sharing economy proofreading platform that I am trying to build. The E is spelled with a 3. And today is all about using MS track changes and how to actually use MS track changes. I'm actually not going to get into it in this particular video, but I'm going to provide some suggestions. What I had actually done, this is part of my Monday Write series, and I asked a writer to write up some tips and tricks on how to use MS Word or how they use MS Word. And then I put them in the show notes. This is to sort of expedite things and make it easier and quicker for you to go through and find these tips and tricks. And I'm just going to highlight a couple of them in this video. I'm trying to make this video as quick as possible for you. The first one is to, and I thought this was a really good suggestion. The first thing is to make sure that you disable it so you can turn it on and off whenever you want. So if you turn it on, then you can turn it off whenever there is sort of large changes. Actually, this is what my co-authors and I sometimes do if we're doing dramatic changes with our work. And by the way, I'm a professor of innovation and strategy and entrepreneurship. And if we're doing large changes in our document that we're working with, sometimes what we'll do is we'll just turn it off. Or what we'll do is we'll create two versions of the same document. And this is pretty handy as well. So the first one is you have track changes on, and then you go through and you can turn it off and make changes, sort of bigger changes after that. And that just makes it a lot more easier for us to deal with it. And sometimes it actually doesn't, especially if you have a slower computer, sometimes track changes tends to bog things down over time when you're using it. So it's pretty useful to have that, or to have those two different versions, or to turn it on and off whenever you need it. And sometimes you can sort of toggle it, and that's something that's quite nice and something to think about. The other one is the other suggestion that was quite nice here. Actually, I'm going to give you two more of the suggestions. The rest of them you could look into the show notes. The other one is to make sure that you use sort of comment sparingly, because it's kind of difficult to turn on and off or delete them after. So it's easier to just use them sparingly. Sometimes what I will do is, especially if it's sort of just like proofreading and things like that, like just actually changing things rather than, content editing and editing the material, I'll just make the changes in there for the other person, and it just sort of expedites things, and then they could just go through and accept changes or not. If it's content editing and bigger things and sort of bigger suggestions of go do this or go do that and think about this, this is what I would tell my students, right, to think about this. I'll put it in the sign. I'll make a comment because I know that's going to take a lot more work or something along those lines. So it's wise to think of that. The other one, the third thing that was really clever that I thought is to make sure that you don't highlight. And so you can also highlight not using track changes. And what that does, it makes it a really kind of a pain after to go through and unhighlight those as you go through. It's a lot more sort of clunky to do that rather than just making a comment or writing a few words with track changes. It's easy to get rid of those after. And now in a future video, what I'm going to do is probably show you some of this stuff and make it a lot more easier for you. I'd like to start showing you some things that I've learned using MS Word. It's pretty handy and pretty useful. And it does take a little bit of experience to understand some of this stuff. So with that, that's all I wanted to say. If you think that this video is great, do the old thumbs up. If you want to help out with the Reciprocity project, you can look what I'm doing. And you can go to Reciprocity, and the E is spelled with a 3.com. And see exactly what I'm trying to do with this. And hopefully it can start to grow and develop as I start building these out. So that's all I wanted to say. Thank you so much. Have a good day. And take care. And I'm going to see you on the next video. Bye.